Today, I will tell you a true story whispered across the savannah, the tale of a woman who carried two shadows, one born from her past, and one that changed her destiny forever. In a remote village near the Golden Plains of northern Tanzania lived a woman named Amina, known for something people whispered behind her back. She walked with two shadows. One followed her feet like any normal person's, but the second clung slightly behind, faint, blurred, trembling like smoke on hot stone. Villagers believed it was the mark of someone carrying a heavy past, and Amina, quiet and hardworking, rarely corrected them. She simply lived her days weaving baskets, harvesting millet, and praying that no one would ask about the second shadow, because she herself did not fully understand it. The bustling market of Mto Wambu was Amina's weekly escape. But even there, whispers followed her like birds circling a carcass. Mothers pulled their children aside. Traders stared openly. Some said the shadow was a curse. Others said it was a spirit she had angered. Amina kept her head low, tightening her shawl. She reminded herself why she endured it all. Her little daughter Kasai, waiting at home, innocent and unaware of her mother's burden. On the night when the blood-red moon rose above the acacia trees, Amina woke to a strange sound, soft footsteps echoing outside her mud-house walls. Her heart hammered. For a moment she thought it was a thief. But then she saw it. The second shadow began to move independently, stretching along the wall like a hungry creature. It flickered, curled, then straightened itself like a standing figure. Amina whispered a prayer under her breath, clutching the necklace her mother gave her. Something was changing. That night she fell into a deep dream. She saw her younger self, running through the forest, terrified, chased by the memory of a tragedy she had never spoken of. A storm, a fire, a man she loved screaming her name, his hand slipping from hers into darkness. Amina woke in tears. The second shadow was no curse. It was her grief, the part of her soul that never healed. As days passed, the second shadow grew darker and heavier, tugging at her heels with every step. It drained her energy. She began collapsing while working, trembling as if carrying a weight far greater than her body. The villagers began avoiding her completely. Terrified, suspicious. Even Kasai started to notice. "Mama, why do you walk like someone is pulling you?" Amina had no answer. One afternoon, an old tribal healer named Nirai visited her. She had lived long enough to know that shadows were not always made by light. Some were made by memory. She placed her hand on Amina's chest and said, "Your second shadow is the fear you refuse to face. If you do not confront it, it will consume your life and your daughter's." Amina realized she could not run anymore. Under a towering baobab tree, Amina stood alone. The moonlight stretched her shadows across the ground. The second one rose, swirling like smoke, shaping into the silhouette of the man she once loved. She knelt in the dust and finally allowed herself to remember everything: the fire, the storm, the night she lost him. She cried until her voice broke. And with each tear, the second shadow faded, until only one remained. The next morning, villagers saw Amina walking to the market with only one shadow. The fear in their eyes melted into awe. She felt lighter, brighter, whole again. She held Kasai's hand and whispered, "We are free." Amina had learned a truth older than the savannah itself. The heaviest shadows are the ones we carry inside, until we find the courage to let them go. Thanks for watching. Sub for more video.